Brooklyn, where a popular rapper was shot and killed overnight.
It was another busy night for New York's finest. Police are searching for whoever shot and killed a teenager in Brooklyn.
In New York's hip-hop industry, there have been many tragic murders of great hip-hop musicians. Let's remember these guys who lost their lives between 1987 and 2024. Welcome to the Top Art Legends. DJ Scott La Rock, murdered in 1987.
Master, 'cause I'm blasted. I know.
Scott Monroe Sterling, known by the stage name DJ Scott La Rock, was the first murdered artist in this tragic history, much to our deep sorrow. He was a hip-hop disc jockey and music producer from the Bronx, New York. After moving from the Bronx to New York, Scott aimed to find a job and break into the music industry. While working at a men's shelter during the day, he spent his nights DJing at a hip-hop hotspot, the Broadway Repertory Theater. In 1986, at the men's shelter where he worked, Scott met rapper KRS-One, who was living there at the time. The pair formed Boogie Down Productions with DJ Derek D. Nice Jones, a cousin of the shelter's security guard, Floyd Payne. The group's debut album, Criminal Minded, 1987, is considered a hip-hop classic. On August 27, 1987, Scott tried to settle a street dispute that had broken out between his friend and several men over a woman, a conflict in which Scott himself was not involved. He came only to help his friend. Tragically, Scott was killed when a bullet struck him in the back of the head, causing him to hit the dashboard of his Jeep. The news of his death shook the hip-hop community, marking the end of an era. 2 men were arrested and charged with La Rock's murder, but they were acquitted in court. In the end, no one was ever held accountable. Scott's death pushed KRS-One to establish the Stop the Violence movement.
We've lost them to the tragedy that went on in the Bronx, a little shootout out there in the Bronx. Stop the violence.
And what happened was Scott was trying to be a peacemaker between
between D-Nice and this guy, and things just got out of hand.
Which gained widespread recognition thanks to the album By All Means Necessary and the star-studded single Self-Destruction.
Rob and steal from one another. You get caught in the...
Paul C., murdered in 1989. Paul C. McCasty, better known as Paul C., was East Coast hip-hop pioneer, producer, engineer, and mixer in the 1980s. McCasty began his music career as a bass guitarist for the pop-rock band Mandolindley Roadshow. The band's founder and vocalist, Lindley Farley, described Paul as a historian about pop music and soul music, and that's what informed everything he did. Later, the band recorded a self-titled album at High Five Studios in New York, which was released in 1985 under the Mana Records Mando Division music label. Paul co-wrote the song I've Got a Hatchet, while his brother, Tim, played guitar on the track First to Fight. After the band broke up, Paul started making beats in a bedroom studio at his family's home in Rosedale, Queens. Not long after, he joined Mikey D's group, Mikey D and the LA Posse. Mikey D described Paul as a musical prodigy, saying, "He didn't even really have to try that hard. It just came so naturally to him. Paul C. was a genius." On July 17, 1989, Paul was murdered while sleeping in the basement bedroom of the one-story house where he lived with his brother and mother. At the time of his death, Paul had just produced major hits like Biz Markie's soon-to-be mega hit, Just a Friend,
the way that I met her was on tour at that concert,
and Queen Latifah's Ladies First, as well as a significant portion of Eric B. and Rakim's third album, Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. Paul C. was on the verge of becoming a hip-hop super producer. Jealousy may have been a possible motive for the murder. However, regardless of the reason, the person or people responsible for Paul's death were never brought to justice. even though the case was featured on America's Most Wanted and led to the arrest of suspect Derek Little Sean Blair in February 1990. No conviction was ever made, and Paul's case remains open to this day. Even more tragically, 6 years after his murder, Paul's beloved 12 studio in Queens, where he had created most of his music, was destroyed in a fire, further dimming his place in hip-hop history. Stretch, murdered in 1995. Randy Walker, better known by his stage name Stretch, was a rapper and record producer. In the late 1980s, Randy, known as Stretch, and his brother Christopher, dubbed Majesty, teamed up with DJ K-Lo, forming Live Squad. In 1990, Stretch met Shock G from Digital Underground, appearing on their 1991 album track, Family of the Underground. That same summer, he met a rising underground artist, Tupac Shakur. The two quickly became close friends. By the end of 1991, after multiple studio sessions, live performances, and TV appearances with Stretch, Tupac released his debut album, Tupacalypse Now, featuring 2 tracks, including Crooked Ass Nigga, where Stretch both produced and rapped. In 1992, along with rapper Big Syke, Tupac, and Stretch recorded the song Thug Life. In 1993, before the song was officially released, Tupac expanded the group, naming it Thug Life, and later signed a deal with Interscope Records. The group released its only album, Thug Life, Volume 1, in 1994. Stretch produced and rapped on the track Thug Music. However, after the shooting of Tupac and his subsequent imprisonment, their friendship fell apart, and they stopped communicating. On November 30th, 1995, while driving to Biggie Smalls' event, Stretch dropped off his brother at home. Shortly after, 2 or 3 men in a black car pulled up beside his green minivan and began chasing him, firing from an open window. Stretch crashed at an intersection and was found dead with 4 gunshot wounds to his back.
He is devastated by the loss of rap artist Randy Walker. He was just 27 years old.
He held my mother up, and I can't believe he's gone.
One theory suggests that Stretch robbed a drug dealer and refused to return the stolen cocaine, leading to his murder.
Your bro, man, Big Stretch, respectfully, man, how did he get killed? What was the reason behind that?
Well, my brother got caught up, my brother got killed on some hood shit. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, like I said, I did a documentary called The Tribute. And I said, I'm gonna say the same shit I said on The Tribute, man. When you from the hood, nigga, everybody from the hood is in the same state, the state of ignorance. And when you in that state, anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of these shits is unsolved, so I can't get into telling you what happened. All I know is same bullshit that happens everywhere. Oh, somebody from over here got killed. Oh, we heard it was somebody from over here. And when it's green light, when it's on, green light, whoever they see from over here, the first time,
Notorious B.I.G., murdered in 1997. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, Biggie Smalls became an undeniable legend, known for his smooth, effortless lyrical delivery, which often contrasted with the grim content of his lyrics. In 1995, Wallace was named Rapper of the Year at the Billboard Music Awards.
And the #1 rap single of the year is One More Chance. From Brooklyn! Notorious B.I.G. Brooklyn!
While working on his second album in 1996, he became deeply entangled in the growing East Coast-West Coast hip-hop feud. On March 9th, 1997, 6 months after Tupac Shakur's death, Wallace was murdered in Los Angeles in a drive-by shooting. At a red light, his Suburban came to a stop when a black Chevrolet Impala pulled up alongside on the passenger side. the driver of the Impala rolled down his window and opened fire. Biggie was hit 4 times and was rushed to the hospital, where doctors tried to save him. Sadly, at 1:15 a.m., he was pronounced dead.
Walk us through those final moments.
We get out, Puff pull out first. We pull out behind him. He blow past the light. We stopped at the light. When we stopped at the light, I see some chicks like on the curb. Before you know it, a car just rolled up, start popping in the car. Just pop, 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 pop. Everybody got down in the truck. So that shit stopped. You know, we all hopped out. Everybody door open but Big Door. By that time, Puff his truck had came back around. Everybody was like, let's get in the car. And we just got in the car and just drove to the hospital. They take him in the hospital. I didn't go in there. And maybe about 20 minutes later, somebody called me in there. I forgot who it was. Told me to come inside. And they was like, yo, he didn't make it.
Big L, murdered in 1999. Lamont Coleman, known professionally as Big L, was a rapper, songwriter, and record producer. Big L was widely praised for his wordplay, with music critics from AllMusic, Hip Hop DX, and The Source recognizing his exceptional lyrical abilities. Henry Adasso described him as one of the most talented poets in hip-hop history. In an interview with Funkmaster Flex, Nas admitted that Big L scared me to death.
Yo, when I heard that on tape, I was scared to death. I said, yo, there's no way I could compete. If this is what I got to compete with, I said, there's no way.
In 1998, Big L founded his own independent label, Flamboyant Entertainment. According to the Village Voice, he planned to distribute the kind of hip-hop that sold without top 40 samples or R&B hooks. That same year, Coleman released the single Ebonics, which was based on African-American vernacular English. The track was later named one of the top 5 independent singles of the year by The Source. On February 15th, 1999, Coleman was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting on the streets of his hometown, Harlem. He was hit 9 times in the face and chest. Gerard Woodley, one of Coleman's childhood friends, was arrested for the murder 3 months later. It's a good possibility it was retaliation for something Big L's brother did or Woodley believed he had done, said a spokesperson for the New York City Police Department. However, Woodley was later released due to a lack of evidence, and the case remains officially unsolved. Ironically, years later, Woodley himself was murdered. Freaky Tah, murdered in 1999. Born Raymond Rogers, better known by his stage name Freaky Tah, got his start in the rap game as a member of the Jamaica, Queens-hailing crew, the Lost Boys, along with Mr. Cheeks, DJ Spig Nice, and Pretty Lou. The Lost Boys began gaining recognition in 1995 with their single, Lifestyles of the Rich and Shameless. Their debut album, Legal Drug Money, 1996, helped put Queens on the global map, reaching number 6 on the Billboard Hot 200. However, as their success grew, so did their rivals. On March 28, 1999, members of a competing crew, the Hellraisers, carried out a drive-by shooting targeting the Lost Boys. Freaky Tah was shot in the back of the head while driving near the Sheraton Hotel in Queens. He was rushed to Jamaica Hospital, where he was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. He was 27 years old. Member of Lost Boys, Mr. Cheeks recalled the tragic day he learned of Freaky Tah's death in an interview with XXL in 2007. I was dropping somebody home right after we just left the party we was all attending that night at the Sheraton Hotel up in 151 Street off the Conduit in Queens. We was at the corner store, and we seen ambulances and shit going over there. We was like, damn, niggas wilding out already? Come to find out it was my nigga, said Chinx.
So now, Freaky Ty is gone, rest in peace. How do you move on, man? What did you do to move on?
Well, you know, I was just taking it in, you know, drinking, smoking, feeling that shit, kid. Like, come on, man. Started wearing our vests more, you know. We used to run around the guns now. Here we go.
Now y'all hammered up everywhere.
Huh?
Y'all hammered up everywhere at the gun.
We ain't know what was going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the f, man? Nigga, yeah. So that shit crazy.
Jam Master Jay, murdered in 2002. Jason William Mizell, better known as Jam Master Jay, was a musician, actor, record producer, and DJ. Mizell became a DJ simply because he wanted to be part of a band. Before joining Run DMC, he played bass guitar and drums in several garage bands. In 1982, after finishing high school, he teamed up with Joseph Run Simmons and Daryl DMC McDaniels and agreed to be their DJ because he wanted to be part of a group. On Run DMC's groundbreaking album, Raising Hell, Mizell played keyboards, bass guitar, and live drums in addition to his signature turntable work. In 1989, Mizell founded Jam Master Jay Records, which became best known for signing 50 Cent and Onyx. Jay was one of 50 Cent's early mentors, teaching him how to craft hooks and choruses. Tragically, on October 30th, 2002, Mizell was shot and killed in his own recording studio on Merrick Boulevard in Jamaica, Queens. The hip-hop world lost a true pioneer who had made a profound impact on the culture.
Never in my mind did I think that someone would kill him. And that took a long time to digest because it was like he only did good.
It was like a nightmare, bro. This was something different. You know, you just felt like one of the good guys got taken out.
You know, it was so shocking and inconceivable. You know, this person that was so full of happiness and love and life to be gone like that.
It's really sad.
It was sad that his life was cut so short so fast. They always say the good die young.
The murder case remained unsolved for nearly 20 years, filled with conflicting testimonies and unanswered questions. However, in 2024, after years of delays and speculation, a jury found 2 men guilty of murdering Jam Master Jay, Carl Jordan Jr. and Ronald Washington. Both men now face a minimum 20 years in prison, with a maximum sentence of life behind bars. The U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Breon Peace, acknowledged the bravery of witnesses who finally came forward to testify. It's no mystery why it took years to indict and arrest the defendants, Peace said. The witnesses in the recording studio knew the killers, and they were terrified that they would be retaliated against if they cooperated with law enforcement and identified the ruthless executioners of Mr. Mizell. In 2009, Run DMC was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, cementing their place in music history. Half a Mill, murdered in 2003. Jason Wardlaw, better known by his stage name Half a Mill, was a Brooklyn-based underground rapper. His mainstream breakthrough came in 1997 when he was featured on the only album released by the hip-hop supergroup, The Firm, The Album. During his lifetime, he released 2 albums, Million, 2000, and Da Hustle Don't Stop, 2002. In 2003, he was shot and killed in his own home in the Albany Projects neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York. Details surrounding the shooting remain scarce and largely undisclosed. Chinx, murdered in 2015,
Only reason I don't fuck with niggas cause I made it.
Lionel Dufon Pickens, better known by his stage name Chinx, was a member of the Rockaway Riot Squad. Chinx first started rapping in high school alongside his close friend Stack Bundles. Together, they founded the group Riot Squad, later joined by local rappers Binoe and Koutwo G's.
Sound like I got a machine tongue from counting money.
When speaking of how he started rapping, Chinx said, "I started rapping at the table in junior high school for fun with the homies, and then by 9th grade is when I started taking music seriously. At that point is when I started investing my street money into my studio time and trying to find my sound." The Riot Squad's popularity faded in 2005 when Chinx was incarcerated. Then, in 2007, his close friend Stack Bundles was shot and killed. After his release from prison, thanks to connections through the late Stack Bundles, Chinx met Max B. The following year, Max B introduced Chinx to another New York rapper, French Montana. In 2009, Chinx dropped his first solo mixtape, Hurry Up and Die, Vol 1, Get Ya Casket, on. This led to a series of mixtapes, each building his name in the underground rap scene. Later, he signed with French Montana's record label and began getting radio play on Shot 97, New York's biggest hip-hop station. On May 17, 2015, New York officers responded to a 911 call and found Chinx and another victim inside a car at the intersection of Queens Boulevard and 84th Avenue. Chinx suffered multiple gunshot wounds to the torso and was rushed to Jamaica Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at the age of 31. Two men, Jamar Hill, 26, of Valley Stream, and Homer of Baldwin, were arrested in connection to the murder. According to court documents, the suspects hunted Chinx like an animal over an old dispute that began during a phone call on Rikers Island. Both men pleaded not guilty, and the case against co-defendant Hill is still pending. Hill remains in New York custody on separate, unrelated charges. Chinx's father reflected on his son's passing, saying that while his music faced heavy competition from the streets, his son did not deserve to die that way. Pop Smoke, murdered in 2020.
Baby, welcome to the party.
Bashar Baraka Jackson, known professionally as Pop Smoke, was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. He rose to fame in 2019 with the breakout singles Welcome to the Party and Dior. As his career took off, his producer Rico Beats introduced him to Steven Victor in April 2019. Shortly after, Victor signed Pop Smoke to Victor Victor Worldwide and Republic Records. In July 2019, Pop Smoke released his debut mixtape, Meet the Woo. His second mixtape, Meet the Woo 2, dropped on February 7, 2020, debuting at number 7 on the Billboard 200, marking his first top 10 project in the U.S. Pop Smoke developed a close relationship with 50 Cent, who became a mentor to him. 50 Cent recalled their first meeting, saying that Pop Smoke spent more time on his phone than actually engaging in conversation.
I met him, we was talking, and I was like, yo, I'm watching him, right? This nigga keep playing with his phone. Like, you know, these little niggas play with their phone all the time, bro. I'm like, yo, what the f*** is wrong with this nigga, right? I'm going, what the f*** he keep playing with his phone for, right? I'm in a meeting. I swear to God, it's really what happened, man.
However, 50 Cent quickly realized that Pop Smoke was actually listening closely and absorbing everything he said.
I get up, because I'm trying to see what the f*** is he doing, right, with his phone. Like, you keep looking at his phone. I swear to God, the nigga was writing what I said down. He was writing it down. I looked, I said, oh, shit. See, it's a difference between a nigga copying you That's not copying. That's not copying. He never copied one fucking thing from me. He just looked at it. He saw what was good in it. It influenced him, and he was doing his own thing with it. I love this shit, man. I fell in love with the nigga at that point. I fell in love with that nigga. I was like, yo, what's the matter? Yo, I like this nigga.
In an interview with Billboard, 50 Cent revealed that when he met Pop Smoke, he felt it was time to remake his own classic records. When I met him, I said that it was time to redo my records. Those two were released in 2003 and 2005. He was referring to Pop Smoke's version of Many Men, the song Got It On Me. 50 Cent advised Pop Smoke to stay focused, telling him, "You could do those things and end up in jail or getting killed, or you can be an artist."
You say you a gangster, but you never shot none. Hold on. You say you a wankster, then you need to stop frying. You go to the dealership, but you never cop none. You've been hustling a long time.
Pop Smoke's music was deeply rooted in New York culture, and with 50 Cent's guidance, nothing seemed capable of stopping him. He became famous for bringing the Brooklyn drill sound to the mainstream, and fans believed that under 50 Cent's mentorship, he would evolve into a refined version of himself. Everything was falling into place for Pop Smoke until his sudden and tragic death. In February 2020, he was shot and killed during a home invasion in Los Angeles, where he was renting a house through Airbnb to celebrate the release of his second mixtape and promote it. Later, 5 suspects were arrested in connection with his murder, 3 adult men and 2 juveniles.
I talked to Pop Smoke 3 days before he died and asked him if he needed anything. He was like, "I'm good, big bro." And I was like, and then Lolo woke me up. You and me, Lolo. She woke me up on a tour bus. We in the, me and Wack, we in the middle of Europe, nigga. And she like, "Pop Smoke died, bro." I shed a tear.
Tdott Baby, murdered in 2022. Edward Johnson, known by his stage name Tdott Baby, grew up in the Sugar Hill neighborhood of Harlem, New York. By the age of 17, he had already become a rising star in the New York drill scene. In an interview with On the Radar, Tdott spoke passionately about his musical inspirations and even hinted at an upcoming collaboration with Dusty Locane. "For me, it was the melodic rappers growing up. When you're in New York, it's drill music. All around you. Being that it's all around you, I thought, why not? Let me give it a try." At 15 years old, Tdott Baby dropped his debut single, Ready for War, in 2020. The accompanying music video quickly gained traction, amassing over 3.4 million views in just 2 years. His breakout success continued with the release of his debut album, E with the Dot, 2022. Less than 6 months later, he followed up with a second studio album, You Started, I Finish. Some of his most popular tracks are Don't Play, Eyes Open, Faster, Reminiscing. His final music video, Faster, was uploaded just 1 month before his untimely passing. After that, his YouTube channel has more than 746,000 subscribers, which shows that people really enjoyed his music. On November 3rd, 2022, the New York rap community was devastated by the news of Tdott Baby's death. At just 17 years old, he died by suicide, fatally shooting himself in the head. Emergency responders rushed him to a nearby Harlem hospital, where he was pronounced dead. His passing was a heartbreaking loss for the drill scene, leaving behind a promising career that had only just begun. Notti Osama, murdered in 2022. Ethan Reyes, professionally known as Notti Osama, gained recognition after the release of Sugar Hill Dott's breakthrough single, Two Tact, in 2022. As we all know, drill rapping is a genre of rap that often involves dissing and mocking rivals, which can lead to fights or even murder. On July 9, 2022, while walking with friends, Reyes spotted 15-year-old Kelvin Martinez and followed him into the subway. During an altercation, Martinez, defending himself, stabbed Reyes with his knife. Reyes later died in the hospital. Osama and Martinez were reportedly affiliated with rival gangs. Martinez's mother took him to the police, and he was initially charged with second-degree murder. However, prosecutors later reduced the charges to manslaughter. By October, all charges were dropped after it was proven that Martinez acted in self-defense. Tdott Woo, murdered in 2022. Tajay Dobson, known as Tdott Woo, was not only a talented drill rapper, but also a dancer. He was a friend of Pop Smoke and gained recognition after dancing in the music video for Pop Smoke's 2019 hit, Welcome to the Party. His drill music electrified the streets and continues to inspire the world. On February 1st, 2022, the 22-year-old Tajay Dobson was struck in the head and left knee in a drive-by shooting on Avenue L near East 98th Street in Canarsie. This tragic incident occurred just hours after he signed a contract with the record label $1 Million Music. The label praised Dobson's dance and music, stating that he electrified the streets and captivated a whole generation, calling him a rising star. "It's an honor to remain your friend until your last moments," the label wrote. "Your memory will always stay with us no matter where we go and what we do." Fivio Foreign also paid tribute to the artist in an Instagram post. "I miss you forever, baby boy. You was the prince of this city. Long live Prince Tdott. I love you, gang. Like forever. Watch over me like you always do." No arrests have been made. JayQuan McKenley, murdered in 2022. 18-year-old aspiring rapper from the Bronx, known by the stage name C-High Watts, was affiliated with fellow Rising BX stars K-Flock and Dougie B. C-High collaborated with Flock on tracks such as Blitz M and Don't Trip. Pursuing a career in drill music, McKenley traveled to Brooklyn to follow his passion. On February 6, 2022, the 18-year-old was shot and killed in a recording studio in the Bedford-Stuyvesant neighborhood of Brooklyn. His death shook the city, which was already reeling from a wave of violent incidents. Just 5 days earlier, Tdott Woo had been murdered. His father also compared the New York drill scene to being the devil's music in an interview with Fox 5. "Our hip-hop is no longer hip-hop anymore," he continued. Mdot EBK, murdered in 2023. Born and raised in the Bronx, Mdot EBK made a significant impact on the music world despite his young age. Fans admired his lyrical skills and boundless energy. Songs like Off the Mud and The Mud Pete 2 became fan favorites, showcasing his growing talent and making waves in the industry, hinting at a bright future that was tragically cut short. On July 5th, 2023, Mdot EBK was in the Fordham Heights neighborhood when a white car drove through the area and came to a stop. A shooter opened fire from the passenger seat. The rapper was shot in the leg. Despite paramedics' efforts to save him, he was pronounced dead at the scene. Another young man was with him but survived. The motive behind the shooting remains unclear. DJ Polo in 2024. The cause of death is still unknown, so he fully deserves to be on this list, as it might have been a murder. Thomas E. Poe, known professionally as DJ Polo, was a renowned disc jockey and audio engineer from New York City. He gained prominence as one half of the influential hip-hop duo Kool G Rap and DJ Polo, contributing significantly to the evolution of mafioso rap and storytelling in hip-hop. Together, they released 3 seminal albums: Road to the Riches, 1989, Wanted, Dead or Alive, 1990, and Live and Let Die, 1992. As a member of the legendary Juice Crew collective, DJ Polo's innovative style left an indelible mark on the genre. On July the 27, 2024, DJ Polo passed away unexpectedly at the age of 63. The cause of his death has not been publicly disclosed, leading to speculation and concern among fans and peers. His family announced his passing on social media, expressing gratitude for the outpouring of tributes and requesting privacy during their time of mourning. Tributes from the hip-hop community poured in, with artists like Ice-T, Eric B., and Big Daddy Kane honoring his legacy. Kool G Rap referred to him as a dear friend and a brother from another household, highlighting their close bond and collaborative history. Ka, in 2024,
Dreamers live clean and good living.
Kasim Ka Ryan, the Brooklyn-born rapper and longtime New York City firefighter. Ka first gained recognition as a member of the influential underground rap group Natural Elements in the 1990s. In 2008, he returned with the track Firehouse alongside GZA, reintroducing audiences to his distinctive style. From his early career with Natural Elements to his solo projects, Ka independently produced and released 11 albums. His latest project, The Thief Next to Jesus, was released in August 2024. Ka reflected on his lifelong passion for hip-hop. "I knew as a child this was for me. I was chosen for it. It was my music." On October 12, 2024, K unexpectedly passed away. Since there is no information about where, how, or why this happened, he is included in our video. But if you know more, let us know in the comments. Jeff Weiss, writer and founder of POW Recordings, wrote on Twitter X, "R.I.P. Ka, rap's greatest minimalist, Brownsville's finest, inimitably dedicated himself to his city and craft. The master of quiet rage, writing Zen koans with unremitting soul and passion, pain, grief, and wisdom in every bar. An artist as pure and real as anyone who ever spit cold facts." This story is full of senseless murders, guys who could live, create, but for some reason, hip-hop is the leader in killing musicians among all styles. Can't this be stopped? Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell. You can also write a comment in the comment section down below. See you later on the Top Art Legends.